Hello. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're here, Survivor Digest. Josh O'Leary, Slipper House Extra YouTube channel. All right, let's get into it, boys. It's Survivor time. That's right, the $15 magazine. I have it. We're going to take a look through that magazine at one point. I'm going to do a live stream where we look through this bad boy. And I'll just show you every page, so you don't have to pay the $15. It's a nice little magazine. I'm telling you what, I haven't even looked through it all myself yet. But welcome in, everybody. We're going to be talking Survivor tonight, okay? Survivor 50, Episode 2. I'm doing these live, so if you'd like to leave a comment, feel free. I enjoyed doing these last year vertically. I think I enjoyed doing it off my phone. It was a lot less work, a lot less hassle. Get the computer booted up on a Thursday. And so that's how we're going to do things here, right? I work smarter, not harder. And I've got my notes. And guys, guess what? You can remember the fiasco last year when I lost my notebook, or last season when I lost my notebook. Look at this. Brand new. For my birthday, got a brand new notebook. And it's beautiful. It's got a green cover. Can put some stickers on it. I'm excited to put some stickers on this bad boy, actually. And I got this notebook, and I got, of course, my $15 Survivor TV Guide magazine, right? And I always have this handy when I'm watching Survivor. I have it right beside me, and I flip it open, and I say, well, what's the latest on Colby? You know, I'm saying, what's going on with Angelina? I say, this gives me all the deets, you know? I'll let you guys see it in the live stream. I'll put it up in a live stream. We'll take a look at it like I did the comic books, and we'll go from there. And I believe we're all set here. Yes, we are all good. At least everything looks good, excuse me, on my end. Let me get things started with a little sip of cola. And you'll have to excuse, oh, there's dirt down in the chat. Yep, feel free to join the chat. I'm talking Survivor tonight, but chat's open. This is live. Like, share, and subscribe. Slipper House Extra. Come on back. Survivor Digest. We're going to get into episode 2 of Survivor 50. I'm Josh O'Leary, and let's do it. So we had no opening title sequence, right? For Survivor 50, episode 2, no opening title sequence. I really like to hear at least the theme music before the show gets started because it just pumps me up, gets me going. So I feel like it was missing that, but it gave us a little bit more show, excluding it. Everyone is standing on the beach, reminiscing about Kyle. This is how we start. John Wick, what's going on, dude? Hope you're doing all right, man. Talking Survivor 50 here. So everyone is standing on the beach for episode 2 to start this off, reminiscing about Kyle. Genevieve and Q are very emotional about his departure. Genevieve is like sobbing, like Kyle's dead, like, which is insane to me. Like, he tore his Achilles. He tore his Achilles on TV. Like, guys, it's all right. He literally won Survivor 48. He's going to be okay. Genevieve, calm down. Q is like, man, we got to do this for Kyle, man. Everybody's being remember the Titans about this shit right now. It's like, come on, guys. Like, for real. A little bit too much. Joanna, what's going on? I don't know. What's going on, Land? I know that last part of that one. What's going on? Good to see you guys. These guys are emotional, and I feel like a little bit too emotional. Yeah, that was my note here, is that dude tore his Achilles and left a reality show. Please stop. Q brings in Rizzo to replace Kyle almost instantly. Almost instantly, Q is like, all right. It went from being like super emotional to like Kyle wants one of us to win to like I'm bringing in Rizzo to replace Kyle. I need Rizzo. I need his vote. And so Rizzo is brought in and to this alliance with Q and Colby and all this. And I like the Rizzo X Colby connection. I think that's a good connection to have. Um, Colby and it's like a father son duo that like aren't really father and son. I like it. Coca-Cola, man. Dirt Rizzo could never replace Kyle. What? Rizzo can't replace Kyle. Kyle, I like Kyle, but this dude is boring, dude. He is milk toast. Like this guy he's just so like clean cut and dry. Like he's literally like plain man. He's like plain man. That's what he is. Remember Plain Kane? All the different versions of Kane that exist? Remember there was like red Kane, the regular Kane, there was blue Kane, there was gay Kane. There's a lot of different Kanes, and we made up plain Kane. That's what Kyle would be. He'd be plain Kane. He should have never gone against the Dragon Slayer. I don't think he did. He didn't go against the coach. He stayed out of coach's way. But we're going to be talking some coach. We're going to be talking some coach, and you best believe I'm going to be getting hyped up for this one because the coach and Ozzy connection continued, and we're about to get into it here. So Rizzo thinks slowing down his hyperdrive in this new alliance will keep him in the game a while. He thinks it'll keep him in the game a while, and we'll see. We'll see because his counterpart, spoiler alert, right? All right. So Christian, let's go to Christian. Christian does the unthinkable here, and he shits himself on live TV. He is, I believe, who's he talking to? He's talking to Joe in the shelter, and out of nowhere, Christian's just like, oh, and he stiffens up, like as if you just paused an episode of Gumby. You know, that's how Christian stiffened up, and you could tell that. How did Joe describe it? He said it was like a turtle head poking out and spraying everywhere. I was like, God, dude. The description of diarrhea that I'm hearing first thing on Survivor episode 2 of season 50 is amazing. It's simply amazing. Thank you, Joe, for that. Honestly, a big contribution to the entire episode, Joe. Throughout, you'll hear it. You'll see. So Christian, he shits himself on primetime TV, and he's trying to get away. He's trying to have some dignity here, and the cameraman is not letting him. And Christian, of course, is going to like turn it into like a humble, almost like a humble brag. He's kind of like humble bragging that he shit himself, and he's like, "My wife's going to kill me," and it's like, almost, dude, that was the coolest shitting yourself I've ever seen. Like the way he pulled it off in the long run. And the way it was edited, I was like, damn, dude, these guys really took the time to edit this shit. Um, yeah, but and they even blurred the shit stain on the back of his pants. They were blurring it. I was like, which made me laugh. I love a good blur. Love a good blur. Jesus and Gandhi shit their pants. All right, right. I mean, I like the one that just says shit. Oh, if I shit myself on live TV, I'm gonna need Jeff to hand over the 1 million right then and there. Mm, no, dude, people have shit themselves on TV for less. For less. All right, enough with Christian's doo-doo britches, right? Christian had some big time doo-doo britches. And let's get to the meat and potatoes of this episode. What I believe was the meat and potatoes of this episode, because this is what got me pumped up, dude. I was ready to fight someone after I watched this because Coach and Ozzy, it continues. The rivalry is not going to stop, okay? It's not going to stop. It's clear as day that this thing is the fuse has been lit, and the stick of dynamite at the end, I can't wait to watch it explode. I really can't, because Coach and Ozzy, this feud is better than wrestling right now for me. I watch wrestling, you know that, on a weekly basis. Pro Wrestling Sauce every Wednesday at 10:15 right here on the channel. And I keep up with all the shows. Nothing, storyline-wise, is as good as Coach and Ozzy on Survivor Season 50 right now. Wrestling could take a lesson from Coach and Ozzy, for sure. So before the challenge, Coach and Ozzy, they just get into it, man. And this is all while everybody is being sad about Kyle. Everybody's like, Kyle just left. We're really sad. Camilla is in tears. And he asks, Jeff asks Ozzy if there's something up with how he's feeling about Kyle, and somehow it shifts to the challenge. And it's because Ozzy said his back hurt. That's right. I have it in here somewhere. Yeah, Ozzy said his back hurt and his back's toast, man. And he's like, I feel for him, man. I thought I was out of this game because my back was about to be thrown out. And Ozzy, brought up the challenge. So then Jeff shifts it over to Coach, and I'm like, well, that shift from Jeff to Coach is asking for it. And of course, Coach doesn't doesn't say anything really about Kyle. He's like, yeah, I want to kind of address that challenge. I want to play with just a shred of dignity out here. And I'm like, oh Jesus. It's the same old Coach, man. You can't beat it, dude. You really can't beat it. That's what I wanted. I didn't want a new coach. I didn't want Coach 4.0. I want Coach. There is only one coach. There's only one 1.0 coach. Let's be real, okay? Let's be real. And that's the coach we all know and love. And believe it or not, he's actually very good he can be very good at this game. And Coach tried to cover for himself, but I'll be damned. He lost this promo battle, dude. I wanted Coach to win this promo battle, but he lost, man. Ozzy got the best of him, dude. He really did it, at least with the words. Like, you know what I'm saying? If this was Roman and CM Punk, Ozzy was Roman in this instant, and Coach was like, CM Punk being like, oh, well, I'm going to bury you next to your father or whatever. Yeah, dude. Promo battle between Coach and Ozzy. Ozzy won, unfortunately. I'm a huge Coach Mark. Everybody knows that, and I don't want this to ruin my reputation as a Coach Mark. But Ozzy, he clearly got the best of Coach in the battle of the words here before the challenge. So the big challenge for the reward, over the ocean, right? This is over the ocean reward. And it's a crazy obstacle course. I don't write too much about these challenges, and this one was just for a reward. And CeeLo wins the reward. This tribe is always winning stuff. Coach with the final ring toss here. I made note of that, at least. Coach, of course, at least sealing the deal on this challenge after losing a promo battle to Ozzy. We then go to Aubrey after the challenge here, after the opening reward challenge. And Aubrey feels in a real weird spot and says she's on a cast of lunatics. She's not wrong. She is not wrong. But she's the one that's like real loner status right now. She's like real, at least that's how the edit's portraying her right now. She's kind of walking around real loner status. And yeah, maybe she's the weird one. I don't know. Maybe sometimes you got to stop and think maybe you're the weird one. Tatsu. Shard in his pants is so gross. Paris Survivor. Oh yeah, were you here for Tatsu for me talking about Christian shitting himself? I won't rehash it, right? I won't rehash it. I won't go, but you can go back and listen if you need. Good to see you, Tatsu. So yeah, Aubrey's feeling in the weird spot, and then Genevieve. Genevieve getting real mischievous here, thinking Aubrey has a boomerang idol in her bag. So Genevieve found a boomerang idol. She's like, Aubrey's probably found one. I'm like, what? Or Aubrey probably has one. Aubrey probably got one sent to her. The other tribe probably found one, sent one to Aubrey. And I was like, damn, dude, why would you just think that? That's crazy. So Colby's like, hey, go through her bag. Colby, old school survivor. Let's do it. And Q, Colby, and Jen and Steph come up with a plan, keep a lookout and all that stuff. Q's looking out. And they go through her bag, and it's all over paranoia because at the time, Aubrey has nothing. Aubrey has absolutely nothing at the time. Emphasis on that. Coach. We then go to Coach and Jonathan. They go spearfishing. This part was insane, and let me tell you, I was on the edge of my seat. I was on the edge of my seat, completely in disarray and concerned for my man Coach. And that's dead. I'm dead serious. Look at this. I'm going to leave this stream with a shred of dignity. My adversaries are my enemies. I love Coach. I'm just joking on Coach. I'm not. I love him. He's great. Got my suit today for my brother's wedding. Ooh. You got to send a picture of that. That crisp? Is it crisp? Like a good suit. You got to smoke a cigar in it. That's always the shit. Wearing a good suit and smoking a cigar. I love it. It's from the thrift. Oh, dude, it's good. It's good. My best suit jacket's from that. I wore a suit jacket from the thrift to my sister's wedding. It's like kind of pink. It's like pink gray. It's sick. Yeah. Eli Holmes says, I've been waiting. I've been live for 20 minutes. Talking Survivor 50, man. What's going on, Eli? I'm sure you were here. I was late. I said it was going to start at 10, and I was late. What's going on, Eli? Good to see you, man. Talking Survivor 50. And right now we are getting into Coach and Jonathan going spearfishing. And you're not going to believe this, but they go out there pretty deep. And Coach cramps up big time, okay? Coach's both of his legs completely cramp up, and Coach has to be rescued by the I guess safety swimmers. They have safety swimmers nearby, in case anything does happen out there while they're doing stuff. But yeah, he gets has to be rescued here, which is absolutely ridiculous. But also, thank God they were there to save our man Coach, who cramps up big time. And Coach is very vulnerable about this. He does not try to portray himself as like the unstoppable force here. He definitely throws himself down and humbles himself, at least in the at least in the confessional he does. And yeah, he can barely walk. I mean, he literally gets back on land and can barely walk after being rescued by the safety swimmers. Coach, he realizes he's old and needs to tone it down physically. He does say this. He acknowledges it, and that's why Coach is somewhat level-headed. Like he's here to play, and he's somewhat level-headed. But those Coach antics, they're going to pop out. They're going to pop out. He's still going to be Coach. So, and here, this is an older Coach, so you can't hate on him for that. I mean, you had Ozzy complaining about his back earlier. These are older Survivor players here, mixed in with a little bit of new era. Oh, Eli's been crying in his closet. Not again, Eli. Camilla and Dee and Tiffany and Charlie, no TV time. Yes. No, you're right. You're right. Camilla got a little bit of TV time with crying about Kyle. Dee, I think her only TV time is complaining about what's her name? God. I'm not blanking on her name right now. You know what I'm talking about, Tatsu. She's rubbing Coach's shoulders. I think she complains about that. And Charlie, I believe, had one confessional here, and just said something about Coach, and it was Coach not being able to walk, I believe. 12 episodes left, 21 castaways. Will Mr. Beast offer people to sign for money? That would be pretty funny if he did that. Wise man Coach. Absolutely. He's very wise and he's very humble. Oh, be quiet. You guys are the best. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being here. And I hope you're all having a great night. I know Dirt's having a good night. Got a new suit. Eli's crying in his closet. He loves doing that. And Tatu's here talking Survivor with me. What could be better? How much would I take to quit? Dude, I'm $1 million. I won. Yes, sir. All right. Yeah. I wouldn't want to quit. That would be a bummer, dude. Um, So yeah, I even got it in the notes here. Here's Dee's TV time. Dee is a little miffed at how motherly Chrissy is. Okay, Chrissy, there you go. Charlie also backs this up. So Charlie had two confessionals. One was with Coach, and one was with saying that Chrissy is a little bit too. Let me take care of everybody. So we're on day 5 here, people. Day 5 of Survivor. Woo! Big crazy day 5 because there's only 26 days, so we're speeding it up. Savannah is talking with Rick Devens and Ozzy about starting an alliance with Joe and Ozzy. Now, this goes absolutely haywire. Um, she whispers to Rick, hey, let's go talk, all this stuff. Joe sees this, and this is where shit just hits the fan in the episode, really, with Joe. So Savannah's talking with Rick about starting the alliance with Ozzy and Joe. But Devens is already lined up with Christian and Emily. First of all, he doesn't want to be in this alliance. He doesn't really want to work with Joe at all. You can tell. And then we get interrogation Joe. Joe confronts Rick Devens, and that's what I'm calling Joe from now on. He's interrogation Joe. Um, we've heard spoiler alert from Savannah in her exit interview that Joe was very intense, and it's not coming across on TV, at least in the edit. But she says that he was extremely intense, and that his conversation with Rick Devens was way more intense than what was shown on TV. And he had another conversation with Savannah that was even more intense. That she saw a side of Joe that she said she had never seen before, and that this was just completely uh, kind of uncalled for. That's what it sounded like to me. She didn't say that, but she said Joe was just kind of like off the rails and a lot more abrupt and intense than what the television was showing here in this episode, at least with his confrontation about people talking. This is just people talking, and Joe is like freaking out. Like, why are you guys going off without me? Why are you guys talking? He doesn't like this shit at all. He's shaking down everybody. Um, interrogation Joe. Um, and Yeah, so he goes into shakes down Devens and Savannah about whispering to him, and everyone is on their toes around Joe. And Christian calms him down at one point and has got him in the hammock, and he's like rocking him back and forth in the hammock like a baby. And a great shot from the camera guy. Shout out to him because it was a great shot of Christian looking through the hammock up at Joe, just talking to him, talking a little bit of sense into him, kind of like trying to agree with him, but being like, "Yo, you got to sway the way we're swaying, man. Come on, let's do this thing." And Joe kind of lightens up there just for a brief moment. $500 to quit? That's crazy. $200K to quit? $12 billion. Joe is a circus with clowns. Joe's in a circus with clowns. I don't know, man. Joe plays it a little too, and he's a little too integrity. Don't go talking to anybody. Don't be doing anything. And this is Survivor, and I think this season is all about fun. And if Joe's too paranoid and worried about the Kyle Camilla connection, then he needs to work on that. How do you spell? Um, with pen and paper usually. Um, sometimes I type it. All right, so we are Christian, he finds a boomerang idol. And I'm just calling it the boomerang idol. I'm not like these other podcasts who are subjected to saying Billie Eilish boomerang idol. Like, I'm not saying that every time. It's too much of a mouthful. I don't believe Billie Eilish actually had anything to do with this thing. I believe the producers came up with it. I believe they just slapped a celebrity name onto it. And I'm not participating in the charade. I like the idea of the idol a little bit. I think it's kind of stupid that you find something and then immediately have to give it away. It doesn't really, it's not really an advantage until later, maybe it's kind of dumb. I think it's goofy, but that's it. All right, so yeah, Christian, he finds that boomerang idol. Christian sends his boomerang idol to Aubrey. Interesting. Now, Aubrey, earlier in the episode, she had her bag go through. They went through her bag. Um, Colby and the gang, they all went through her bag because Genevieve was suspicious that she may have had an idol in there. Someone sent her one. And now they confirmed that she didn't have one. But they were too early because now she does have one. And Aubrey is very emotional about this. She cries and is, like, oh my gosh, someone's actually looking out for me out there. Someone's either looking out for you or they want you out of this game. Um, Now, Aubrey, you better protect your bag. People are going through it. You better protect that shit now. Then we cut to everyone being upset at Rizzo's laziness. Everyone is mad at Rizzo because this guy does nothing. And I'll give it to everybody here in that Rizzo. And I don't think they had to do much in the edit to have Rizzo be portrayed this way because this guy is like biting his fingernails and then is like, and he bites his fingernail too short, maybe, or something. He's like, I gotta go disinfect this. And he just goes back to camp and sits there and does nothing. I was like, whoa. And this is while they're trying to crab. This is while they're trying to like do something as a tribe and get the, some food for camp and all that. So Rizzo's just like, yeah, I'm not going to participate. My finger, ow. Um, it's got a scrape or something. Like Rizzo with the fucking lamest injury in all of Survivor history, and that's up there with the fake snake bite from last season. Uh, yeah, I like Rizzo's laziness. I think it's very funny. I think it's very funny, and at least it is for me as a viewer. For me as a viewer, yeah. Bill Eyelash, Boomerang Idol, Lash Legend, Boomerang Idol, or something. Oh, the Lash Legend Boomerang Idol. I like that. Lash Legend getting her own Boomerang Idol. That'd be sick. Billy Idol, Boomerang Eyelash. The Billy Idol Boomerang Eyelash. I like that too. That's good. That's very good. All right. So yeah, here we go, guys. Let's get to the immunity challenge. So this is the Survivor snake. This challenge is pretty insane. It's a really heavy snake, and there's another smaller snake at the end. You gotta wiggle it through, and you gotta um, get the ball to the hole. Put the ball in the hole type deal. Millie Bobby Brown, Bon Jovi, Boomerang. These are good. These are pretty good, guys. The Survivor producers might be popping in here. The Millie Bobby Brown, Bon Jovi, Boomerang Idol. Damn, that's a good one. Um, yeah, the Survivor Snake, the immunity challenge, and we got Chrissy sitting out here for this challenge. Colby and Steph, they're major beef castles. Yeah, that's what I wrote here because Colby, well, at least Colby is. Steph was kind of just like, wait, Colby. And Colby was like running away with that snake, dude. It's a really heavy snake, and Colby lifted that shit all by himself. It makes up a ton of time for the tribe, who they were lagging behind in this challenge. And as Colby lifts this snake and brings it all the way back, you hear Rizzo say, literally amazing. I love Rizzo, dude. I can't help it. He just said he's almost like a character of like that generation as a whole, and I love him. So we're neck and neck at the snake slide, the end of the end of the challenge here. I skipped most of the like. What are you going to write about them doing the challenge? Everybody's doing the challenge. Everybody meets up at the end at the same time, right? It's like when you speed past somebody and you both are at the same stoplight in a minute. It's the same thing. That's Millie Brownie Bob. Um, it's the exact same thing as the stoplight scenario. I said. So everybody's there neck and neck right at the end. And Batu takes a tumble and loses the lead there, drops their ball on this snake slide challenge. And a lot of lead changes before Vatu comes back and takes first place immunity, and then Kala right behind, sending Sela back to tribal council. Sela is the tribe name I know the best because they've been at tribal already, and now they're going back. And right before we go to commercial break, Ozzy claims he's too stocked up to go home next. He's like, I got this advantage and an idol. I cannot go home. And I'm like, oh boy, are they emphasizing that it may be Ozzy going home? I don't like that at all. So then, Suri, she's got to work her magic. Suri and Ozzy, remember, they're like this. They're like this, Suri and Ozzy. And she's got to work her magic for everyone to vote her way here and get the attention off of Ozzy. Suri wants to flush Savannah's advantage and vote her out here. And at this point in the episode, I was feeling like advantages and idols were actually going to be played. I was like, okay, so some shit's going to happen here at Tribal. Stuff's going to go down. And it may get confusing. That's at least what I thought, and that actually wasn't the case. That was not the case at all. And the emphasis on Ozzy saying he was stocked up, that he had the idol. And so I was like, oh, we're getting some foreshadowing here on some idol and advantage playing at Tribal. But that was not the case here. Not at all. Ozzy gives Suri his extra vote. Now this super solidifies their alliance. Now, and it really does. Now this is pretty big deal. Like Ozzy has the idol and an advantage, and he's like, you know what, Suri, I'm going to give you my extra vote. Really solidify this thing. Like, please have my back. Do not like Suri cannot stab him in the back now. Like those two are do or die. And I mean, as many times as they've played together, you would really kind of expect it. I don't know why it isn't really on the radar. I think everybody's kind of just playing the game that's like right in front of them, and they're zoned in on like where they are right in that moment, instead of like looking at the bigger picture and being like, damn, Suri and Ozzy, they sure did play a lot together. Here they are in the same tribe again together. So they really are. So I mean, they've definitely not worked. They've never really worked together until now. So I'll give them that. So the extra vote bonding them in 24 karat gold there. And Suri is very emotional about this. It's her first advantage, which is insane, right? How many days of Survivor has Suri Fields played? And she's, just now gotten her first advantage here. That's insane. That is insane. Joe goes to Savannah, and she tells him about her and Rick. Oh, yeah, here we go. Joe goes to Savannah, and she tells him about her and Rick talking, and Joe goes, full trustworthy interrogation Joe, and he's causing more havoc everywhere. And then Christian tries to settle him down again to no avail. And I wrote here that Joe, you know what Joe needs? He needs an Eva. He needs someone to like protect and like, be like, it's cool. I'll be there. He doesn't have that right now. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have the person to protect, you know. And he had one with him all the way to the end last time he played. So he had a comfort in the person that reminded him of his daughter or whatever it was. He had a comfort in that and having his number one with him. He doesn't have a number one here. And Joe is going a little stir crazy, I believe. I believe he's going a little cuckoo. So yeah, the Havoc is reigning supreme, and the tides turn to Joe all of a sudden. It feels like the edit is shifting to Joe being voted out here, and everyone seems to be on board. Everyone seems to be on board, except for people like Emily who are just like, I want to vote for Ozzy. That's all she does that all the time, man. She's like, what about Ozzy? You know, Emily reminds me of. You guys remember that Chick-fil-A girl who was like really quirky and did like the funny face? That's who Emily reminds me of. Ooh, that was a little out of pocket, probably. Um, the tide turns, yes, to Joe, and everyone seems to be on board. Savannah was on point here, actually, in a confessional. She sniffs out Sari and Ozzy working together. She sniffs it out, and she knows that Sari is working to protect Mr. Ozzy Luth. And this, I wrote a note here. This is why Savannah is the best new era winner. Okay, she's honored, dude. Savannah is good. Savannah is good at this game. Okay, she's just she got dealt a bad hand here. She teamed up with the first person they voted out, Jenna, and then they went right back to tribal. Dealt a bad hand. Not bad at challenges and all that stuff. I mean, she played one challenge here and beat Colby. Which is not hard. But that's not hard to do. From take a look at his heroes versus villains era, and you'll know that Colby is probably on a downward trajectory when it comes to challenges. But I mean, he was Beef Castle in the Snake here. He didn't like losing to Savannah in that challenge earlier a few days prior. So, he really needed to beef it up, and he took advantage with that snake. But poor Savannah here. She sniffs out Cerise's Aussie protection plan, and I think she really should have called him out on it. She should have called out Cerise on this. It should have been more of a takedown from Savannah, which I kind of expect from Savannah. I'm a little disappointed that she didn't go full throttle, right? And I know she's trying to play it safe, and so just in case she was actually sticking around, let's not burn too many bridges. I get that, but like, you know, Savannah, I was rooting for her, man. She was my pick off this tribe. She was when I picked a winner from each tribe when I did the tribe breakdowns, and I said Savannah was going to be my winner again. I didn't care. I said she's my winner. Um, so it seems like everybody's on board. Savannah, Joe, Ozzy, with Joe being uh, the only one without an advantage here. That's the lineup. You got Savannah, Joe, Ozzy, and at least that's what the edit is trying to make you think is that's who everyone's going to be voting for here, possibly. And then we have Rick Devens come up with the idea to plant a fake idol at Tribal for theatrics and possibly a some sort of play later on in the game. Fake potential play that will sway someone a certain way. Pretty good idea. Pretty good idea. I thought that it was pretty brilliant to come up with that. Kind of a play on like what Adam was doing in season 40, Winners at War, where he thought there was an idol at Tribal, but this one's you're just hiding a fake idol at Tribal. The only way this could backfire is if another tribe goes to Tribal and they find it. That's the only way it could backfire for Rick. But and he would miss it. He wouldn't get to see what happens. That would be a bummer. So hopefully it's hidden well enough because he does eventually hide it here after Tribal. That no one finds it, but it didn't seem like it was. It seemed like it was just kind of like right out in the open, hidden in between like two rocks. Like you kind of see the paper there. I feel like someone might see that, Rick. Um, so Christian also shares with Devins that he found the boomerang idol. So that these guys are like this. These guys are tight as as you can be here. And he says he sent it to Aubrey. He tells him all about it. And then we get to tribal council. And the momentum shift, it's staying on Joe at Tribal. So it really feels like they're trying to play it up that Joe's going to be the one going home. They keep cutting to Joe, Joe with the wide eyes there. And then when Jeff asks if there wants to be any advantages or idols played, do it now or forever hold your peace. No one stands up. No one does anything. Ozzy kind of scratches his leg and it makes it seem like he's going to grab his idol or something. He doesn't do anything. And then I am swiftly surprised as Savannah is just promptly voted out. She's the only one not to vote for herself here. And Savannah voted out. Joe saved Christian. Then, by the end of the episode, as Savannah is walking off in a very dignified manner, may I add, in a totally, good, totally good gameplay for only having 9 days after she just came back from winning the previous season, right? So, yeah, she's walking away dignified here, being voted out, and Christian, he distracts the rest of the tribe by tripping. Now, Christian is a devious little shit, isn't he? Isn't he? Because we heard from Jenna in her exit interviews that Christian was the mastermind behind targeting Sari, that he's the one that kind of threw the name out there in the first place. You know, I'm gonna go and sit next to the person that I think's the most dangerous, or whatever. And that's what Christian went and did. He went and sat next to Sari. That's what Jenna is saying, claiming, and that Christian's kind of like moving chess pieces here, and no one's really kind of noticing yet here on day 5 of Survivor. Night 5, early day 6. No one's noticing Christian and his devious ways because he trips here at the end of Tribal Council and does a whole Zach Braff's from Scrubs fall here, whoa, and falls over and hits the ground. And everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, Christian, are you all right?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, well, yeah, well, I meant to do that. Oh yes." And everybody helps Christian up while Devins hides his fake immunity idol at Tribal Council. The fake immunity idol now hidden. Now hidden. Not well though. I don't think it was well. I didn't really get a good shot of where this thing is, but it didn't seem. It seemed like he kind of did a panic hide. Devins likes to panic, dude. He gets questioned by interrogation Joe. He panics. He has to hide a fake immunity idol at Tribal. He panics. Right. This guy is just a panic monster unless he's talking to a fellow nerd. Uh, yeah, man. Sad about Savannah getting voted out here. That was the episode. That was Survivor episode 2. Only one vote out. We only one Tribal Council, kind of like a regular episode of Survivor here. Nice big hefty episode though. Ended at 9:30. So nice little hour and a half there. Um, Not too many commercial breaks. Plenty of camp life. Plenty of drama. This is definitely a really good season. Not a lot of screen time for some of these people out here. They're definitely a little purple in the edit so far. For some of them, I don't. I like that. For some of them, I don't. I wish Camilla got a bigger edit. I want to see more of Camilla. But some of these other people, I'm really not that excited. Tiffany, don't care. Charlie, don't really care. Uh, these guys may turn the tide and be a bigger part in the later half of the season. We'll see. They could be edited more in the next episode. We don't know. But it's coach heavy. It's Ozzy heavy. It's Sari heavy. You know, it's Q heavy too. Sometimes Rizzo. There's some new school in there intertwined, and it's good, man. This is good. This was a good episode. I'm upset. I'm upset. It was Savannah voted out here, but nonetheless, this was a very very good episode of Survivor. Um, I've got really no complaints. I thought the editing was good. I think the storyline is good. Even the coach stuff. I mean, coach was just falling all over the place here. This isn't. But this is, believe it or not, it's a coach you can root for. It really is a version of coach you could root for here. He's out there cramping up in the water. He's having a promo battle with Ozzy that he's just straight up losing. And you're like, damn, coach, come on, man, get it together. Let's get this shit together and win this thing, coach. This is a good episode and a good season so far, and I'm very much enjoying it, guys. Very much enjoying it. So much so that someone bought me a $15 Survivor magazine. And I'm going to flip through this thing one night with you guys. I'm going to do it comic book style so we can all see every page and really get into the nitty gritty of this magazine here. Yeah, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me grab the camera here. All right. Good stuff, guys. Hope everyone's having a good night. If you guys have any questions or concerns or comments, feel free to leave them down below. Eli is down there, says your friend is life. All right. All right, Eli. Hopefully you're not crying in the closet anymore. Hopefully hopefully you got your shit together. Yeah. I don't really have anything else on the episode, unless you guys had a question about the episode. I've kind of gave my thoughts on everything, at least that I wrote down here, that was significant to me, right? And I love this new notebook. The pages are bigger, so I don't have to write quite as small, even though I still write very small handwriting. Yeah, I like the big page. And I wish I had it for episode 1. Now I have to take episode 1 and put it in a small paper folder. Son of a bitch. Well, there we go, guys. Survivor 50, episode 2. That's it. That is it. Looking forward to episode 3 next week. I did not see the next time on Survivor. I did not see that. I did not see that part of the show. So I'm spoiler free right now on the next time, at least right now. We'll see when we get into it next episode. Thursday nights, right here, Slipper House Extra Extra YouTube channel, Survivor Digest, covering all of season 50, and we're gonna have a few little spicy, fun Survivor time in between as well, right? We're gonna take a look at the magazine. I may do like a proper stream on once in a while. We'll see. Season 50 is big, you know. We got to spice it up a little bit. I see everybody else out there just pumping out the podcasts for Survivor 50. You know, just pumping them out. So I got to step my game up a little bit. Got to step my game up a little bit. Maybe they'll come and call it. I applied for the third time. Casting, please give me a call. Hit the email. Shoot me a text. All right, let's get out of here, guys. Josh O'Leary for the Slipper House Extra Extra YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Pro Wrestling Sauce every Wednesday at 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. And available on all your podcast streaming platforms. House Assembly every Sunday at 9 o'clock. And Survivor Digest every Thursday. Right here live on the channel. And don't forget your Monday and Friday. Last hour. Raw and SmackDown live reactions with Jacob and Josh. Lots of content, lots of fun. Hope everybody has a good night and a good Friday morning. See you guys next time. Bye.